A very good morning to my Madam Salwa binti Ahmad. My name is Misha Muniri and I'm coming from the Bachelor of Accounting and Finance. So today I'll be presenting based on my coursework. So first we'll be looking into what is budget. So budget can be said as a way to determine the total revenue and expenses for the required time. So the compilation and re-evaluation of budget will happen on periodic basis. It actually used by an individual or a group of people and even the government to have a very systematic process of how they earn and spend their money. Budgeting process can be said actually a way of setting up the budget in a particular place. So this cycle includes arranging and gauging, executing, checking and assessing the presentations of the financial plan. Next, we'll be looking into the steps in budgetary process. So the budgetary process, the steps that I have chosen is that budget policy and guidelines should be communicated. So the I authority should always or frequently deliver the information to subordinates regarding the budget in order for them to make some improvements in the upcoming year when they do the budgeting. It actually enhances their accuracy and their performance in preparing the budget, and also have a clearer understanding between the high officers and the subordinates. And then the effective communication to the employees regarding the budget should be informed in order to make immediate changes in their working ethics. Next, we'll be looking into the steps, the budgetary process that I have chosen is the coordination and the review of budget. So the budgeting requires a coordinations and individuals should be in charge to work with the higher officers and controls the budget. So the coordinations helps in delivering a proper data of summary to the department and organizations to have a better finance management. So the fundamental sectors of firms and various segmentation of departments who are involved in budgeting should requires everyone's input, and everyone should be reviewing it in order to form coordinations among the organization. Next, we'll be looking into what is zero-based budgeting. So zero-based budgeting is all about the budgeting process where every period of time the expenses need to be proven and reviewed. So the ZBB begins from zero base, and the purpose of needs and costs, every aspects of the firm will be looked into. So it doesn't matter whether the budget is high or low, because the budget will be prepared based on the needs of the future but not based on the previous year. Next, we'll be looking at the benefits of ZPP. So zero-based budgeting helps to cut down the costs where the work or the activities that does not generate any outcome or income for the company would be automatically cut down. So it actually creates a financial year to make it more effective. So ZPP can be done once in a month, which helps in providing data which are clearer in regards of the financial model, which also helps actually with the data for a longer period of time. And ZPP also helps with business leaders to rethink about their budget. So when implementing the methods of allocating the resources, the cost base and the cost structure, and has been reset again with the usage of ZPP, it actually helps with the monetary performance of their company when they come up with the creative rethinks of how to do the budget. Next, it also helps to strengthen strategic growth and transparency. So ZBB empowers project pioneers and inwards initiative to same introduce clear, like convincing clarifications for their financial plans, and shows how to spend or uphold their main goal and general development, productivity, and cut through all the execution of the organizations all in all. Next, we'll be looking at the disadvantage of ZPP. So ZPP can be complex and expensive. It's due to the over or extra training required because the employees need to adapt to the new software, and they're also complex because the employees need to do the budget from the scratch where they have nothing to review from the previous reports. So it consumes a lot of time for the financial teams actually to review and to finalize the budget properly. The next disadvantage is that ZBB can be disruptive, when a huge change to the financial cycle can likewise take steps to disturb tasks through potential changes driven by essential choices to change providers, where there will be more dangers for the budget listing, because when the changes occurs, of course, all the informations or the figure quantified investments will be changed, where you cannot have efficiency upgrades. Next would be what is limiting factor and what is the throughput accounting. So limiting factor can be said it's a way to define making the production resources at a mediocre level, which keeps the business from having high sales. The resources such as the shortage in labor, machine hours, or material. So throughput can be defined is a way that uses the level of organizations who transfers the goods and services into sales or earnings for the company. So it's a new method which has been substituted with the old conventional accounting method. Next, we will looking into the differences between both the system. So limiting factor would be only used when there is more than one constraint, while throughput accounting would be used when there is only one constraint. Limiting factors focus mainly on how to acquire the notable performances and how it could give contribution to the company, while the prime focus for the throughput accounting is on the restricted limit in some basic mark of any creation plan. And other than that, limiting factors increases the association's benefits by using the best mix of accessible assets, while truth book accounting actually increases the benefit by speed up to the associations to take out the bottlenecks. So limitations factor determined by deals value, short factors expenses to get commitment, while the throughput accounting actually ascertains the items to as a selling value short of all factors cost, variable expenses of 181 more would of course material in all through bookkeeping or the accounting, included direct material expenses. Next, we'll be looking into the similarities where both this system are used to recognize the bottlenecks assets rather than increasing their company's earnings. Next, we'll be looking into what is performance measurement system. So performance measurement system are defined as a way of observing and measuring the performances under the aspect of qualitative and quantitative assessment. It's a method used to make better decisions by gathering, handling, investigating, measured information of execution data. Next, we'll be looking into the benefits performance measurement system. So the benefits of this performance measurement system can be said focuses on the outcome instead of the characters of the task done. So many people misunderstand that the behavior affect the outcome of the business, but actually it don't. Just because a person looks busy doesn't mean the outcome they're giving for the business can be good either. It all depends on how effective is the performance which gives good outcome. Next, it creates a meaningful measurement for the company. So the measure performance has a number of application method helps in determining standard which can be compared with the previous measurement to give a better performance in the future. Next, actually improves the communication with employees, where with the perfect performance measurement it helps the manager give a proper commands to subordinates, where each measurement explicitly lay out with itemized guidelines which can individuals lead to progressions in their company. Next, we'll be looking into the drawbacks of performance measurement system. The drawbacks are that it can prompt decreased level of results. So the good performance might feel very unfair when the execution of an exhibition estimation standard is required, where they require incompetent or undeveloped laborers to arrive at the measurements at their level. So it takes a lot of time. So the degree of preparing will be very unfair to them. Next, we'll be talking on the drawback where it can be prompt as an absence of responsibility, where the all the works of execution estimation to work, everybody in the group should be holding nothing back for the cycle of the work. They will be giving this required task, so they will be thinking that this is a task that I only have to do. So they will be start to be very calculative there, where they only do the stuff they have to do and they will not bother about the the balance stuff that which has been there for quite some time. So on this schedule, this makes clashes among the people and groups since they are basically contending with each other as opposed cooperating. So these are the presentations for me on the coursework that I have done. So thank you for listening.